And we are live. Hello everybody. Welcome to two guys talking craft once again. I'll just check who we've got here in our chat just now. We will be sharing, my good friend Jared and I from Actors Approach Craft Technique Toolbox. We will be sharing a workshop this evening all about the power of breathing and centering. This is a free acting workshop. We do these every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, so fantastic if you want to join us. Within this hour, you are going to learn 4 actionable breathing techniques that you can add to your acting toolkit. That is something that you can take away, that's instantly actionable, that hopefully you can use again and again and again. If you stay with us for a little while, you'll maybe pick up a few techniques, but if you stay till the end, we can guarantee you 4 techniques today. I'm feeling good. Thanks very much. I hope you're feeling good as well, man. I hope you're feeling great. And we're just waiting to be joined by Jared from Actors Craft Technique Toolbox. He will join us in just a little second and we'll get started with the workshop. But a lot of people have been asking recently, what is the strongest thing that they can be doing? Oh, here, before I tell you about the strongest thing you can be doing right now as an actor. Hey, Jared. Should be loading right about now. Here he is. Hi, Jared.
Hey there.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How's life over in New Jersey? All good?
All good. And you, Aberdeen, good?
All good, my man. All good. I'm quite happy. We're talking all about breathing today. Because, yeah, I've had a bit of a stressful day. It's nothing quite interesting just to engage in some of these techniques you're going to share. I'm looking forward to doing some centering as well. And yeah, just see the possibilities. But I was just saying to these guys, Jared, giving them a bit of an introduction. We will share 4 actionable techniques that they can take away today from this workshop if you stay the course with us. And I was just saying that a lot of people are asking right now, what is the best thing they can do as actors during this time, during this strange time that we're in within this industry. And we were kind of talking about it last time that we did our workshop here. Is skill acquisition is key, right? The more skills you can acquire during this time, it never goes away. It's something we both feel quite passionate about, right?
Totally agree. Yeah, you've got a lot of downtime, a lot of time on your hands that wouldn't necessarily be available to you. So just take advantage of it. Read plays, read books, watch movies, watch DVDs, take online classes, work on memorize a monologue every week. I mean, that's a challenge that's been out there for a while, right? Week 1, memorize a drama. Week 2, memorize a comedy. Week 3, memorize a classic. And just keep going through that cycle. And by the end of the time that this quarantine is lifted, you'll have 15, 20 different monologues available to you at the drop of the hat.
Absolutely. No, great advice. And hello everybody that's just joined us as well. Before we dive into today, Jared, and share these techniques with everybody, I thought it might be interesting just to sort of give a little background as to, how breathing has been powerful to yourself as an actor. How have you found it powerful in your career? What's added to your acting game?
Well, that's a good way to start. Yeah, I like that. I learned a long time ago that emotion rides on the breath. And I remember when I was younger and in class, I would stifle my breath and the emotions would get suffocated inside of me. And my acting teacher used to say to me, hey, Jared, just breathe. Just relax and breathe. And emotion rides on the breath. And if you allow yourself to just relax and allow that breath to take hold, all of a sudden a whole well of emotions opens up. And so that's really the foundation of where it started for me and how it impacted my career, my approach to the work on the stage. And then obviously I began to learn some really helpful breathing techniques as preparation as well. But yeah, I learned early on that emotion rides on the breath. And if you don't breathe, it's all going to get stuck and bottled up inside of you and you'll short circuit yourself. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really powerful thought about the access to emotions. And yeah, for me, I think the main impact that doing breathing techniques and accessing various breathing techniques it's allowed to free up my voice in many ways, right? I am based in the northeast of Scotland. we tend to be not the most expressive people with our voices. We tend to restrict quite a lot. We're kind of like it's quite cold here, so we don't move our necks a lot. We just kind of keep everything in. So we have this sort of surface breathing thing going on. And it wasn't until I started accessing a deeper level of breathing that I was able to use the full capabilities of my voice, fill up, you know, my breath as an actor, but equally, yeah, the physiological changes that can happen through the breath to allow you to access various emotions as well is a really, really powerful thing too. So I think it's something that people really take for granted. Everybody, maybe seeing the title of this workshop, they're like, I breathe all the time, but there's really depths and layers to upping your acting game through embracing breathing on a deeper level, I think.
Yeah, it seems to be, in general, if you have not learned specific breathing techniques, that it's quite arbitrary, meaning when you're feeling stressed, and we experience this in life all the time, when you're feeling stressed, people say to you, hey, just breathe and calm down, just breathe. But the precision through which actors need to breathe is different than just breathing in life, right? We can breathe with purpose in order to accomplish specific tasks. But if we don't have some structure to what those breathing exercises are, the arbitrary, just breathe, calm down, just breathe, calm down, we don't know what we're striving for, and therefore the outcome is not the desired outcome.
It becomes wishy-washy. It becomes generalized, right?
It's almost like if you're angry and someone tells you to calm down, that's the last thing that that does to you. It enrages you, right? Hey, you're angry. Calm down. Just calm down. No, you sort of get more volatile. And the same thing is true with breathing. If it's, hey, just breathe, just breathe. It's so arbitrary that in the moment you don't have something to grab hold of and accomplish anything.
Yeah, you feel like I've been breathing for my life. I know how to breathe. But, it's worth saying, guys, before we jump into sharing these techniques, we are here for you guys. This is the reason that we're doing it. We want you to get involved as much as possible. Please drop comments in the comments box throughout. Ask any questions that you might have related to what we're sharing today. And please join in with the exercises that we're doing. These are individual exercises, which hopefully you can join in at home, kind of wherever you are. So we want it to be as actionable as possible for you. If it's not actionable in any way, then there's no point in doing this, right? We want you to leave here with some techniques you can take on from past today's workshop. So without further ado, Jared, shall we jump into sharing some of these techniques?
Yeah. Sure. And you're spot on to say that, Adam. Like just participate, whether you're asking questions inside the chat or you're up on your feet actually doing the work that Adam and I are going to be doing together here. The more you participate actively, the more you're going to get out of this. As opposed, I don't know, Adam, if I've ever talked to you about this, the theory of the melting of the wax. Did I ever tell you this? The melting of the wax. So I have this idea that when we train, it's as if you've got like this ball of wax on top of your head, and all this information is packed inside the wax. And so you understand it intellectually. You may have a comprehension of what it is, what the theory is, but unless you get up on your feet, get your body moving, and melt the wax all over you, you don't have the ability to practically apply it, right? And so the best thing here is not to just let that ball of wax sit on top of your head with information that's not attainable to you. Get up on your feet, get your body hot, melt the wax all over yourself so that you feel it inside you and you know how it works on your body.
Love it. Let's melt that wax, people. Let's do it. Let's get involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my ball of wax.
Not literally. We're not meaning literally melt a candle in your head. Please don't send any lawsuits. Don't sue us. It was a metaphor, people. Let's do this.
So I've got 3 specific breathing exercises that, Adam, I'll share with you. And then obviously we want everybody on the Instagram Live to participate too. And you're going to walk us through some centering. Where do you want to start today? Do you want to start with the square breathing and go there first?
I think, yeah, that sounds a good place to start, Jared. Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So the 3 that I'm going to share today, square breathing, inflation breath, and resting breath, are 3 very specific exercises that incrementally have a wonderful effect on you. And I'm saving the best one for last, the resting breath. But we're gonna start with square breathing. The intention of square breathing is to give you a, like I mentioned before, a specific structure to help you calm down and relax. If people tell you to just breathe and relax, it's very arbitrary. And so when you have a pattern to breathe through, it helps transform your body very rapidly. So if you're feeling stressed, one way that you can de-stress, and I think about being in an audition room and waiting to go in, and all of that self-doubt creeps in. You look at all the other actors, and they're in better shape than you. They're younger than you. They have more hair than you, right? You think that they're going to have more experience than you. There's no way you're going to get the role, and you're feeling stressed. You can use these covert breathing techniques in order to help you relax. So the first one is square breathing. Square breathing is you breathe in through your nose for a count of 1, and then you hold for a count of 1. And then you breathe out for a count of 1, and then you hold again for a count of 1. So you're sort of going in a square. And then after that, you just breathe calmly for a moment. And then you increase it from 1 second to 2 seconds to 3 seconds to 4 seconds. And there's really no reason to continue on 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. By the time you get to 4 seconds, you're doing quite well. So I think if you imagine, being in this stressful environment, right? And you begin the process of square breathing, you'll see how it affects you and just slows your heart down, slows your breathing, gets you a little bit more connected and centered to yourself. So let's try this. I will. Hey, Noreen, we see you. We're waving back to you. Good to see you. Hey, everybody. So square breathing, let's start. I'll talk you through this. And Adam, you do this, and then everybody online just do this. And then type your comments. And Adam, you'll share afterwards how it affected you. So square breathing. You ready? Through your nose, breathe in for 1 second and just hold for a second, and then breathe out for 1 second and hold for 1 second and breathe.
And then, Jared, out through my mouth or nose, or does it matter?
So I was just about to say,
oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's good, right? It's a great question. I'm forcing you right now to breathe through your nose, and then we're going to do it through the mouth and through the nose so that you can identify how your body functions. Because not every tool pierces everybody's heart the same way. And so be faithful to the process right now so that you could identify, yes, I get it, but my body's telling me I need to breathe out through my mouth, or I need to breathe out through my nose. But you won't know that unless you're forced to try it one way than the next. But yeah, you actually, I was watching you actually experienced what I was just about to say. So for now, let's just stay with the nose in and out, and then we're going to jump to the nose and the mouth. So again, for 1 second, you ready? Just through the nose, breathe in for 1 and hold for 1, and breathe out for 1 and hold for 1. And now breathe. And if you want to breathe through your mouth now, you can. And now through the nose only again for 2 seconds. You ready? Breathe in 1, 2, and hold 1, 2, and breathe out 1, 2, and hold 1, 2, and then breathe. Just relax. And each time that you breathe after the square is done, just release the tension. And now again through the nose for 3 seconds. Ready? Breathe in, 2, 3, and hold 2, 3, and breathe out 2, 3, and hold 2, 3, and breathe. And then the last one, number 4. You ready? Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and breathe out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and breathe. So Adam, what is your body telling you that you would prefer to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth? What's your body telling you?
I think for me personally, yeah, the breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, feels more natural. I feel that's my natural sort of default mode of breathing, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I think that there's a saying of your body knows what to do before your head figures it out. So just trust your body now, right? So as we go through this again, and actually maybe anybody that wants to type any comments about their thought on only doing through the nose or what your body's telling you, just go ahead and post that as well. But this time, let's in and out to the nose. All right, so global venue, good. All right, So Adam, this time you do whatever you want. Noreen, the same as Adam. Good. So trust your body this time. If you want to breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose, whatever works for you, do. Right. And feel the difference and acknowledge the difference in how this version of it affects you versus the previous version. Okay. So this time I'm assuming, Adam, for you, it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah. And Amy, Adam, your long lost cousin, Amy Coots from Canada, is saying the same thing as you as well. All right. So here we go. So for you, through the nose in and then out through the mouth. So breathe in 1 and hold 1, and now out through the mouth 1 and hold 1, and now breathe. And breathe in 1, 2, and hold 1, 2, and breathe out 1, 2, and hold 1, 2. And maybe because you're following your body, Adam, maybe you're already feeling a little bit more relaxed than previously on number 2. Yeah. All right, let's go to 3. Yeah. These techniques are so powerful if you trust your body, right? And if you have a process to follow it and you just allow yourself to have faith in the process, it will work for you. So let's go for 3. Ready? Breathe in 1, 2, 3, and hold. And breathe out 2, 3, and hold 2, 3, and breathe. Another last one, 4. You ready? Breathe in 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and breathe. Okay, so compare the experience first and second. How are you feeling? What worked for you? What didn't work for you? What are your thoughts, Adam?
That was hugely powerful. So as I said at the start of this workshop, I had a bit of a busy day, feeling a bit stressed out. I even noticed, because I'm overly aware of this, like I do this, I had some shoulder tension and stuff at the start of this, and as I was sitting in the chair, I was kind of like, okay, I'll focus on the breathing. But the amazing thing what happened was, I felt as we progressed with that exercise, my body sank more and more into the chair. I just felt more and more sinking. I felt deeper with my breath, and I just felt my heart rate just sort of slow down. And yeah, I mean, this is me in my living room. I could totally see me being able to do this in an audition room, in a busy audition room, and people not looking at me like, what's this idiot doing with the breathing going on? It's quite subtle as well,
It's very subtle. Yeah.
Personal practice,
Yeah, this one is definitely covert in terms of you won't be calling attention to yourself. The next one that I'll teach, when it's my turn to teach again, because I think we're going to lob back and forth, is a little bit more obvious, and you wouldn't be doing this. It serves a different purpose, but this one's definitely private and covert. I'm just reading some of the comments. It clears my mind and everything else. Yeah, so clearly the breathing is connecting you to your body. The breath is going to connect you to the material, to your emotions, to your senses. I feel a bit lightheaded, but also relaxed. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. So your body's filling with a lot of oxygen that wasn't there. That may be an indication that you're having shallow breath, right?
Mm.
Deeper we breathe, the more oxygen we fill in our bodies, and the lightheaded we get sometimes.
Yeah, I kind of felt a little bit of the lightheadedness as well, like as we progressed with that. But yeah, kind of in a nice way, in a blissful way.
Yeah, it's like a nice high.
Yeah, exactly. cheap. But yeah, no, fantastic. I noticed Jarrett said earlier on as well that he's actually got an audition. So I wonder if Jarrett will use some of these as he approaches his audition there. Lovely. But yeah, no, that's incredibly effective. And I think that's it. It's just taken for granted just how powerful. Like that was a very, very simple practice that hopefully people can remember and take on past this workshop. But oh my goodness, how powerful, in terms of it can just change your physical state. And that we often think it's really, really a complex thing to do, right? Like to be able to do that. But just by engaging in the simple practice, being faithful to it, and giving yourself over to it, yeah, it can have really powerful effects.
And trusting your body, right? Don't shoehorn in a process that you know your body just naturally knows is not the way that you function, right? So I forced you on the first one to do something that you understood but didn't feel right. Okay, so don't do that. You know, just trust your body, right? If the breathing in through the nose and then out through the mouth is what gets you closer to relaxation, then that's what you do.
Yeah, no.
Kaz Loren says, I feel it makes you conscious of the moment. Yeah, I agree with you. It makes you, and I think, you know, Adam's going to talk about this in a little bit about centering. It makes you present. It makes you aware of the different tensions in your body. It makes you aware of what's going on around you that might be distractions because you are very structured and focused on the process. The arbitrary just breathing to calm down, it makes you just haphazard and scattered. But when we're given a rule to follow and we faithfully stay on that track of, you know, breathing in that square, it allows our mind to focus and things become much more clear. What's Noreen said?
Very powerful for controlling nerves, which sometimes get the better of us all, 100%, right? And I think from this, it just allows you to start from a clean slate, right? Be focused, as was brought up by Kaz there, you know, being conscious of the moment that you're away to walk into, try to get rid of the ego, the little voices that might creep into our heads as well, and just set you up for what you've got ahead. So, no, very, very powerful indeed.
Okay, I'm passing the baton to you.
Fantastic. So, I guess my one I'm going to share tonight in terms of breathing, we are stepping out with the audition waiting room slightly, and this might be just something that you want to do to engage yourself before you actually step into doing a speech, I guess, in an audition room. And my hope would be that what I'm going to share is a bit like a practice, right? It's a bit like something that you need to intentionally get in the way of doing for a while, that it slowly becomes your default, right? Perhaps if Jared had asked me what's my default breathing, so I don't know, 10 years ago or something, when I hadn't done much acting training, I probably would have breathed in through my nose and out through my nose. But I've kind of trained myself into having this bit of a deeper breathing. Jared mentioned about shallow breathing. And I've kind of trained myself to move away from that into a more deeper level of breathing. That thankfully, this is just my default, but it does take time to do that. So this exercise that I'm going to share with you might feel a little bit uncomfortable for the first time that you do it. I hope that, the more that you practice it, the more it can become a default thing for you. And actually, it's a hugely, hugely powerful thing to ground yourself. So to get rid of any physical habits that you might bring into an audition room, but also to engage with the full capacity of your breath and your voice. This is a really, really good foundational exercise to start building from that. So in order to do this at home, if you're going to join us, Jared, you can take a seat if you'd like.
I'm sitting, but tell me what to do.
You can do either. You can do either. You can either stand or you can sit. So I'm going to explain it first for the people who are going to be standing to try this out. And I'm going to be explaining it second to the people who are sitting. But this technique is called centering. Now, where this technique come from, can you see it in any books or anything like that? I don't actually know. This was shared to me by my voice teacher that I had way back in drama school. And it's been something that really stuck in my head. That's really allowed me to access the full capacity of my voice. So I'm going to stand up now. Hopefully my camera is set up efficiently enough. Jared, I'm pretty blind. How am I looking? Can you see?
I can't see your head. I see your body and like halfway through your thighs, but I can't see your head.
Let me tilt that up slightly and see if this is any better. Sorry, technical difficulties, folks. Now you can't see my legs, right?
Yeah,
it's not good. You can see my legs, actually. It's fine. I can explain what's going on.
I'm right down to the bottom of the hoodie zipper.
Okay, cool. So if you're at home, I want you to just find yourself a space, either in a chair or standing up. This exercise is called centering because we are going to access the center, the core of your breathing through doing this. Now, before we engage in this exercise, I just wanted to share a little analogy, I guess, with you guys. And I want you to cast your minds back to being a toddler, to being like a little baby that's just started to walk around the place. And I want you to think about if you have any memories of that time, how you might have moved during that time. And if you can't remember that, just remember any little young person, maybe age 3, age 2, who's just exploring walking around for the first time. And what do you notice? I can't see the comments right now, Jan, but what do you notice about these little guys as they explore and sort of walk for the first time? Yeah, you're doing it, Jared. You're doing it. Any explanations in the comments there of how these
not yet. Yeah, not yet.
No. But they're kind of very much grounded to the ground. They're putting a lot of weight into the ground. Yeah, they're very rooted to the floor. And it's a funny thing that you see toddlers going about, and they just access so much of the capacity of their voice. They go high, they go low, they gargle, they go they make all sorts of sounds. But for some reason, as we grow older, as adults, we tend to restrict these sounds. And we tend to get habits in our physicality that stops us being grounded, or as grounded as we once were. And I guess maybe we want to show when we're grown-ups, when we're adults in social situations, that we're quite sensible. And we limit sort of the full capacity of our voice, the full range of it. As actors, you obviously want to be able to access that full range of your voice. So centering is going to allow you to do that, ground to the floor, and access this deep belly breathing that we kind of just naturally do when we're a lot younger as well. And we still naturally do when we're in our beds too. So let's get diving right into it. So what you're going to do, and this is going to feel a bit unnatural, right? First of all, before we dive in, Jared, could you just, we haven't done any centering just now, we haven't done any of the exercise. Could you just say the line for us? I'm talking to you from New Jersey. Go for that.
I'm talking to you from New Jersey.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, it seems to be a very pedestrian voice that Jared used there. He's not using any breathing technique, he's just talking in his normal sort of habit voice. If you had somebody at home, and if I was doing this with you right now, Jared, before we centered, I'd actually go and I'd actually push you. I'd push you around right now, right? And if you have somebody that's with you at home right now and you're standing up, just be like, hey, can you push me a second? And then see if they can like knock you off balance. And I guarantee right now, it'll be quite easy to push you off balance. So they can put a full weight on a push, they knock you off balance. By the time you do this, by the time you engage in the centering activity, they won't be able to knock you off balance anymore. It is like magic, okay? Cool. Something to try sometime when you've got another person in the room. So let's get to it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your feet and you're going to just take them hip width apart, okay? So if you're sitting down in a chair, you can do exactly the same thing. Your feet are hip width apart. You don't want to go too wide on it. You don't want to go like really wide legs. You just want to kind of locate where your hips are and try and have your feet directly underneath them. You're going to check next your knees. You're going to check that they're not locked, okay? We don't want them straight and locked, okay? We don't also want them too loose and you're like bending over. We don't want that. But they're just nice and unlocked, okay? They're nice and loose. So you've got like a nice little bounce in your legs, really, okay? So we've done our feet, we've done our knees, and if you checked in with that, Jared, your knees feeling nice and loose?
Yeah, they do. Even sitting down, they feel beneath me, supporting me, but not crazy firm.
Not crazy, fantastic. Next, we're going to look at these bad boys. These are my old friends, the shoulders. I always have tense shoulders. And we want to just get rid of any tension we might be holding in our shoulders. So you're going to lift your shoulders up to your ears and drop them down. Lift them up to your ears and drop them down. Up to your ears and drop them down. Good. And hopefully you're feeling a nice heavy feeling in your shoulders. If you need to, you know, you can give them a circle around a little bit, backwards, forwards. Lovely. So, still having that feet hip width apart, knees nice and loose, shoulders nice and loose as well. One of the final little bits, adjustments we're going to do to our body, is with our head. Now, what we don't want is our centering is our head sticking outwards. We don't want to be sticking backwards either. We want to have like a nice straight neck. And I'll stand aside and want to show you guys. But you want to also imagine that a string is pulling your head up to the roof. Okay, it's pulling your head upwards to the roof. So you've got a nice straight neck. So once you've aligned with those things, your feet are hip width apart, your knees are nice and loose, your shoulders are nice and loose, your head is nice and straight. We're now going to let the magic happen, people. This is the breathing part. Now, what we don't want to do is engage in this shallow breathing that we were talking about, this breathing that comes from our chest. We want to engage in this deep belly breathing that we engage with when we're in our beds at night, yeah? So what you can do is, just to start accessing that, you can put your hands on your ribs right now. I want you to breathe as deeply as you can and expand your ribcage as much as you can. And as Jared was saying, it's what's comfortable for you people. In through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your nose, however you want to do it at this stage. But really try and access the full capacity of your breath in your ribs. Here we go. So, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and remove the hands from the ribs. Now we've got a bit of a feeling as to how it is to fill up our lungs to its full capacity. You really try and bring it down deeper into this belly breathing, okay? We're going to take away the hands from the ribs this time. I want you to imagine your belly, your tummy, inflating as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Exhaling very slowly, bringing your tummy in and reset, okay? So here we go. If you'd like to put your hand in tummy, you can do as you breathe in, or have it done by your side. It's up to you. So here we go, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Lovely. Now, Jared, if you are engaging with this deep belly breathing, the next time you exhale, and people at home can do this as well, can you exhale on a vowel sound? Can we exhale on an ah? Okay, this doesn't have to be a lovely sounding ah. Just let your mouth open and let's see what comes out. So ready? Here we go. Breathing in, breathing out. Fantastic. Next, we're going to breathe out on an E sound. So ready, breathing in, filling up those lungs, and out on an E. E. Lovely, lovely. Okay, now we could go through another few vowel sounds. If you were doing this in a prolonged exercise, you probably would. But just now, Jared, next time that we fill up our lungs, we fill up this deep belly breathing, can you on your out breath, just say that line one more time? I am talking to you from New Jersey, and let's see how it sounds this time. So ready, breathing in and out.
I'm talking to you from New Jersey.
Lovely, lovely. I had a little croak and a crackle in your voice there, Jared, a little bit. Did you feel a little bit croaky and crackly with that one? Tiny bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. It certainly sounded deep. It sounded sort of engaged with your core, with your center there. And the funny thing about this is if you did have all of this in place, if you were focusing on your breathing in and breathing out, if you got that person to come in and try and push you over at this moment, I guarantee it, if you can't try it today, try it with somebody another time. I guarantee they won't be able to push you over. Now, they could be pushing really, really hard, and they won't manage to push you over at all. You're grounded, you're rooted to the floor, and you're engaged with this deep belly breathing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you stand in an audition room and you stand like this every single time that you want to engage in this deep belly breathing. What I'm saying is, by engaging in this physicality, by engaging in this practice, it will become a lot easier over time to access this type of breathing, okay, and to get rid of habit physicalities, habit breathing that you might have, and you just naturally sort of get to it, you know. But this is a practice that I sometimes check in with myself to do before I walk on stage, before I walk into an audition room, before I start a speech. I just check, am I engaged with my deep belly breathing? Because I just know from experience that from this, I kind of compare it to, I'll come and sit down again, a bagpipe sort of filling up, my favourite instrument from Scotland. If you don't fill up that bagpipe properly, it's going to make the most horrible sound. But yeah, if you fill up that bagpipe to its fullest potential, it is going to make the sound that it's supposed to. Some people say it's a beautiful sound from a bagpipe. Some people don't like it so much.
I love it. Yeah,
it's really going to allow. So,
hey, Adam, tilt your camera back so we can see your whole head.
Of course, yeah. So how did that feel for yourself, Jeff?
So I was noticing a lot. So for sure, before we started, I was all over the place and loose. And so putting myself into that grounded position, I felt grounded. I felt stronger. I felt more present and structured. While I was breathing, I was getting lightheaded too, because obviously I was not taking deep breaths earlier. So I was feeling that lightheadedness, which tells me I was doing some shallow breathing as well. I had mentioned that emotion rides on the breath. And as I was doing the ah and the e, it immediately took me back to memories of acting class where I've done some deep breathing and vocalization exercises. And I actually suppressed an impulse to just start really laughing because a really strong memory popped up, but I didn't want it to be distracting to the exercise. But like I had said before, that emotion rides on the breath, and being connected to your senses and your memories is connected to your breath as well. Totally happened to me. I also felt myself being very aware while doing the exercise of constantly correcting my body, pulling the string up, elongating my spine, shoulders back, making sure that I'm very grounded. So just the rules that were given in this exercise, I was trying to remember them and follow them throughout. And it definitely made me feel more connected, more purposeful, more in direct line with you.
And this is it. It's a practice like anything else, right? And that's, I think you're venturing into that thing. It feels a little bit uncomfortable, like doing all this stuff. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel, but like quite possibly that you are holding tension in some of these areas. If it is feeling unnatural, it is feeling uncomfortable and stuff, and you're maybe not starting from as blank a canvas as you could be. I just noticed J-Star Seeds then that her voice started crackling a little bit. And that's really, really interesting, because that would mean that you're accessing layers of your voice that you maybe don't usually access. You're making some breakthroughs there. And the more that you access this levels of your voice, the more it will smooth out those crackles, the more it will smooth out those croaks. And you're accessing, the full potential of your voice eventually, through doing this. But only be able to touch the surface of it today. But I hope it's something that you take into your practice and explore yourself.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Just add it to the toolbox, right? Hey, I see Roxy has joined. Hey, Roxy, good to see you here. All right, so if anybody has any more comments or thoughts about that centering exercise and your experience, go ahead and post those. I'm going to jump in now, Adam, to inflation breath.
Yeah.
But obviously, if anybody has comments about the centering exercise, just keep on posting them. We'll get back to it. Inflation breath is a very specific technique to try to break a pattern that you're in, because what we're about to do is so unnatural that it forces you to just stop everything and get connected. The inflation breath is an exercise to help you build the capacity of your lungs also, but what it does is it shocks the system to get you focused when you're all sort of scattered. So inflation breath, the way that this works is through your nose, you're going to breathe into the max capacity that you can, as much as you possibly can. And then when you're done breathing in, you're going to take one more inhale through your nose in. And then once you're at max capacity, you're going to, as fast as you can through your mouth and exhale, expel all of the air. And when you're all out of air, you're going to, with your diaphragm, you're just going to push out one more final puff of air. So it looks sort of like this. Right? And yes, make faces and go big, feel weird. And then after the second little puff, just breathe, because you will get lightheaded with this. but it's going to shock your system and help get you to a place where you can begin to relax. So if you're feeling a lot of anxiety, inflation breath is a great bridge to walk over, and then you can do the square breathing and you'll even sink deeper, or the centering and you'll sink even deeper. So now that you're sitting, which is good, because Adam, I don't want you to faint or anything. And if you need to blow your nose, you can blow your nose too at any point, because we're going to be breathing in hard.
Yeah. I'm feeling clear today. Feeling clear.
Feeling clear. Good. All right. So again, it's go through your nose, a really strong inhale to full lung capacity, diaphragmatically breathing. Pull down on your diaphragm to expand your, to expand all this goodness, get all the air in. And then once you're at the most inflated, one more suck in through your nose to get just a little bit more. And then immediately expel all of it through your mouth until you can't breathe out anymore. And then push it one pump of your diaphragm to get out just a little bit more. And then breathe. All right, you ready? So give this a shot. You ready? Breathe in through your nose. Breathe in. Suck it all the way in. And then one more puff in through your nose. And then push that diaphragm, get it all out, and then one more pump of the diaphragm. And then breathe. It's fun. It's funny. And just breathe. And each time that we do this, we actually are training our body to expand our capacity, to expand the amount of breath that we can actually take in. So one more time. You ready? Through your nose, breathe in. Suck all the way in. And then one more puff in. And then one more diaphragmatic pump. Even makes you cough sometimes. And then breathe. One more time on your own, this time without me guiding it. You do it. And breathe. And now notice how you've shocked your body and you're sort of at this place where you can begin to do another relaxation or breathing exercise and start from a really good place, as opposed to starting from a place of anxiety. And
Man,
yeah, go ahead.
I feel a rush of like energy as well. I feel like energized. Is that?
It's good. It shocks the system.
Yeah. No,
if you're feeling scattered, misfocused, and you want to shock your system to get yourself really present, this one is a great, it's like jumper cables. Boom, it just shocks you.
Man, I feel I've had a couple of espressos or something. I feel like, not wired though, not wired, but just like present in the room. Like it's powerful. Is it natural to feel like on the breathing in, it's more difficult to do the inhale for that prolonged length of time, and then the exhale? I felt much more comfortable on the exhale, prolonging that, sort of going to its full capacity. Breathing in, really interestingly, was a hard thing, but as I did it more and more, it became easier. Is that natural? Is that sort of new feeling?
Look, it's how your body functions. Why don't you try it again, but breathe in through your mouth as well. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth, and just see what happens. So it's like full inhale through your mouth with one additional breathe in through your mouth, and then expel everything through your mouth again. Yeah, see what changes.
Okay. Yeah, it's powerful. I guess that's it. It's just not being used to inhaling as much, but feeling the power of it and the full potential of it as well. Like, yeah, it's a pretty powerful, very quick way to feel focused, to change that physiological sort of state in your body. Like, yeah, man, it's powerful stuff.
Good stuff. Any thoughts or comments from anybody on the centering and the inflation breath?
We haven't got anybody just yet, but I think like if you did experience that just now, guys, please let us know how it felt for you. I'm still feeling the effects. I'm still feeling like, oh, it is just amazing, as we were saying at the start of this chat. Like it's something you completely take for granted, but oh my goodness, like I feel I've altered and changed my state. Like I feel when I get off this call, I'm going to clean the house or something.
Your wife will be happy then, right?
She'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Kaz says it's easier to do it standing, so Kaz is still standing up here. Helps him focus on his diaphragm. Felt energized. Valerie felt energized with it as well.
Good.
Valerie Adler. Ooh.
Trust your
Any
body,
relation?
right? If standing up is how your body needs to do this exercise, just trust your body.
Yeah, no, totally. I was quite glad of sitting down because I think I would have felt a bit lightheaded not sitting down from it. But that was great, fantastic.
All right, so
this final one, Jared, was like your favorite, isn't it? This is like your.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. You save the best for last.
Oh, here we go.
So the last one is called resting breath, and the theory behind this is so important. Resting breath is the number of seconds that you breathe in and breathe out when they are consistent in and out, when you are at your most relaxed. And I'm not talking about breathing in for 5 seconds and breathing out for 5 seconds every time. I'm saying every time that you breathe in, it's the same number, the same number of seconds in. So 5 seconds in every time you breathe in, and maybe it's 12 seconds out every time. It doesn't matter. The in and the out don't matter. It doesn't matter for them to match. But the consistency of always 5 seconds in and always 12 seconds out, or 3 seconds out, or whatever it is for you, when you are at your most relaxed and your body recognizes that count in and that count out, physiologically recognizes it as being the most relaxed, that is your resting breath. So tonight, when you're laying down in bed to go to sleep and you're about to fall asleep, pay attention to how many seconds it takes you to breathe in and how many seconds it takes you to breathe out when you are at your most relaxed. And when you know what your inhale count is and your exhale count is, what your resting breath number is, then you have a very specific target to work towards when you are feeling stressed. So if we agree that physiologically, when you're at this resting breath, that you always breathe in to 5 and always breathe out to 7, as an example. If you notice during a stressful time that you're breathing in 3 seconds and out 1 second, and in for 3 seconds and out for 1 second, if you can focus your energy and force yourself to consistently breathe in for your resting breath count in and breathe out for your resting count out, you will trick your body physiologically to begin to shift to a relaxed state. And so similarly to the other techniques, instead of just saying, just breathe to relax, just breathe, it being so arbitrary, when you have a very specific inhale count and exhale count to work towards, that goal of getting to that count will physiologically take hold of you and transform your body into a place of relaxation as opposed to stress and tension. And so the exercise here really is to just, and I'll walk you through this, is to just close your eyes. We'll go through a little bit of a relaxation exercise and try to get you to identifying what you believe to be your resting breath. And then I'll put you through some stress and tension, and you'll feel the application of using resting breath as a craft technique to reduce the stress. Cool?
Cool.
So anybody, for you, Adam, or anybody on the live session here, anything not clear? Any questions, or did I clarify what the actual resting breath is, what it means? Maybe give me a thumbs up on the comments if you get it. And Adam, from you, did I explain that okay?
No, 100%. 100%.
Okay. All right. So why don't we try to identify as best we can what your resting breath is, and then look, you can compare this tonight when you're in bed sleeping or just about to go to bed. So why don't you just close your eyes for a moment and use whatever your body is telling you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, or whatever you want. And maybe let's go back to the square breathing to help. Thank you, Valerie. Thanks, Kaz. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's just do a little square breathing to start us off. So breathe in for 1 and hold for 1. Breathe out for 1 and hold for 1. And breathe. And now breathe in for 1, 2, and hold for 1, 2, and breathe out for 1, 2, and hold for 1, 2, and just breathe. Just notice yourself calming down and settling down. And 3 seconds now. Breathe in, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3, and breathe out, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3, and breathe. And now on your own, what I want you to do is whatever you're comfortable with, breathing in through your nose or your mouth and breathing out comfortably through your nose or your mouth. I want you to breathe in and then breathe out and identify how many seconds it takes you to get to a place of consistency that feels comfortable and calm for you. So as you're doing this, just count for yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out. Whatever those numbers are, just make note of them. And try your best to force yourself to breathe in for the same count 5 times in a row and have your out breath count the same 5 times in a row. And identify how that feels in your body. Notice the weight of your body getting a little bit heavier and sinking into your chair. Notice the tension going away. Notice your heart slowing down a bit. And now just to throw a wrench into this, breathe in for 3 more seconds and out for 3 more seconds from your resting breath count. And notice how that changes your relaxation and your tension. It's going to add some issue to you. It's going to create more tension because your body doesn't recognize that count as relaxation. And now go back to your resting breath count. Go back 3 more times consistently in on the same number count and out the same number. Noticing how your body just settles down and calms down when you're faithful to your physiology, to your resting breath count. And Adam, while you're still doing this with your eyes closed, just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if this is affecting you. Yeah, good. Okay. So now, Adam, just continue to breathe in the resting breath count so that you're relaxed. And I'm going to take you through a little bit of a guided daydream right now that's going to add stress to you. And I want you to imagine and sensorially experience what I'm saying and notice how it changes your resting breath count. So I want you to immediately imagine yourself in a heated argument with your wife right now over anything that goes on, a typical argument. It's chores, it's house, it's finances, it's family, it's in-laws, it's vacation, it's vision and strategy, it's work. It's things that get in the way of your life. Have that imaginary monologue and imaginary dialogue with your wife right now, and for everybody on, with a loved one that you experience these kinds of frustrations with. Hear what they're saying. Sensorially create the environment. Where you typically have this? Is it on the phone? Is it in person in the kitchen? Is it in the bedroom? And notice how this tension is creating a change in the physiology, in the count in and the count out. And now what I want you to do is, while you're continuing to have this imaginary stressful situation, begin to force yourself to breathe in to your resting breath count and breathe out to your resting breath count while still imagining this confrontation with a loved one. And continue the imagination, the imaginary dialogue and monologue with that person, but force yourself to breathe in for the same count and out for the same count. And again, in for the same count and out for the same count, noticing that the stress that you felt a minute ago in that imagination exploration has diminished. The tension is still there, but its effect on you is diminished. And by focusing your body in a relaxed state and physiologically pushing towards the resting breath in count and out count, you reduce the stress of the stressful situation. You don't necessarily make it disappear, the stressful situation, but your response to it and your increased tension and stress is controlled and diminished because your body recognizes your resting breath as relaxation, not tension. And breathe in and out. And now just look at your loved one and just say, sorry, love you, I'll get back to you later on. And then you can come out of this. So we've got, Adam, we've got 5 minutes left. I want you to share your experience with that and help us wrap this up. And then you could go apologize to your wife for having a fight.
Wow. So, so much going on there. Like, first of all, just this, right, that we take for granted just how much we can change the patterns, the chemicals that's going on in our brain, I guess, and how that brain affects our entire body. So, just going back to the start of the exercise, you got me to identify my resting breath fairly quickly. I think I was a 5. So I waited about 4 seconds, 3 seconds, then a 7 on the way out. So interesting when you asked me to add the 3 seconds on either side, because it felt horrible. It felt like I was like suffocating. It was so weird, so strange. So yeah, I found this natural resting breath. And once I managed to do that, and you got me to do the imagined guided daydream there, I instantly felt this shorter, sharper, shallow breathing that was coming in. I imagine, like from a neuroscience point of view, you kind of triggering off this amygdala, this sort of fight or flight thing in the back of your brain, this sort of prehistoric thing that's been built in. And your body sort of starts to react to it. You start to get in this fight mode that you feel you have to sort of, combat the situation. However, just by engaging with that breathing again, I actually felt like I could have, in this imagined conversation, a much more leveled out conversation, much more composed. This thing you were saying at the start, when you're angry, people say, calm down. I could do that. I calm myself down in a situation and have a talk like adults. And oh my goodness, like just how much of our bodies, of our thinking is dictated by breath, dictated by getting caught up in a fixed state of breathing that we can't get out of, that affects our body, that affects our thoughts. Like, that's powerful for acting, but it's powerful for life, man. It's powerful for so many ways,
Yeah, for sure. So when you're in a stressful situation, breathe to your resting breath and get control. Have a conversation like an adult. Yeah, you're right.
Jared, that was absolute gold, mate. Absolutely golden. Like, and I really hope we're getting tons of thumbs up here, love hearts, everything. That was very, very powerful stuff. I hope you really appreciate these exercises that were shared today. I mean, that last one as well. Oh my goodness, like a game changer. Jared, where can people find some of these exercises that you shared today? If they've like, oh, I'm never going to remember these. Where can they find them?
Yeah, thanks. So actorsapproach.com, click on the blog. And I wrote a blog about breathing. So if you go to actorsapproach.com and check out the blog, you can read the 3 that I presented today.
Amazing, amazing. Please do, guys. And Jared's knocking out the park with his blog posts all the time. So please do check it out. He's very modest. He wouldn't say that, but he really is. Jared, we are hoping to, well, we're not hoping to, we're going to get this out as a podcast as well. Two Guys Talking Craft, right? We're going to get this out on YouTube. And yeah, we'll be back every 2 weeks on a Wednesday live. If you do want to get involved in these workshops live, then please do. We hugely appreciate it. We hope you get value from them. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next time. Look out for our promo posts that will be telling you about our next workshop coming out really, really soon. And thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of our hearts. We really, really appreciate it. We hope it adds value. Yeah, anything to add, Jared?
Just, Adam, thank you. I love this new relationship with you. It's so much fun. I'm learning and growing every day.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great. It's such a great thing to come from this weird lockdown quarantine situation. And long may it continue. I really, really hope so. So thanks, everyone. Jared, thank you so much, man. And we'll see you again, people. We'll see you again. We beat Instagram before it kicked us out again, Jared. Well done.
That's right. We got 2 minutes. But thank you, everybody, for joining and sticking with us. Hope you got value out of it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you again. Bye-bye.